Well, hello, it's Thursday again, and the live streaming peer group project is here again. And today we have Anna not here, but in the chat. So, Anna, just tell us, last week we talked about you recording yourself with the podcast. So, since I catch you here in the chat, just tell me how that went. And then we have Samantha here. Hi, Samantha. So nice to have you here in the audience. And then I have a whole other audience here in Zoom. Hello, friends. How are you? Yay. Lala in the middle of the night as always. So, I am sure we have some wins from last week. So, who wants to start? Oh, Lala starts. Yeah, Lala. First, yeah. Oh, Lala, wait. I think we have no audio from Zoom. Never update the things while. Yeah, the other participants in Zoom can, but I have to wait. Maybe now.
Hello?
Yeah, I think now it goes. So the.
Hello?
Yeah, I think now it.
No audio?
Oh, now I have double audio. Oh, okay.
Oh my, so sorry guys. Okay,
No,
maybe
no.
somebody else has to do the
No, it's my
the
fault,
update.
not your fault.
But you guys hear me? No. Yes.
You guys hear me?
No, Lala. Do you hear me, Lala? Yeah, okay. No, it's not you. It's I did something in the setup. Yeah.
Took some of the shots from there to create a 17-minute edited video. And then I finished. What I did was I tried using Splice from my phone. Okay, I tried editing it from my phone because that's the easiest so far. Because I actually do shorts already, so more or less I know how to. But I don't know, so for some reason, my Splice wasn't coordinating with me. It's like I was already editing for like an hour or so. And then I remember that I actually have InShot because a few weeks back, Adam recommended to us InShot. And so I did. I never done any editing on InShot. I've never, gone through that. But as Adam said, it was easy indeed, right? So I was able to edit the video from there. But then, so I was able to put the text, the video, but there's no music, right? Because for some reason, I don't know how to put my music from Epidemic Sound onto that app. So what I did was to download the edited video onto my laptop and then edited the music. I added the background music from there through, again, okay, the easiest okay is iMovie. It's even free from the laptop, right? So I finished, and then I think before uh I think around 12:30, I was able to set remind, create, and set a premiere with a trailer around that time on my channel. It goes live tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. So there. So finally, I am able to create that edited video. I don't know in terms of, is it good enough? I think it's passable. Probably not the best video that you would ever watch. Okay, it's not mind blowing, right? But at least it's something that I know imbibes still the idea that I had about that store, okay, and the message that I wanted about, organization in that video. So there's my update for the week. And hopefully next week I'm gonna have a better one. Let's see, and I'm gonna report next week how that edited video has fared. Maybe I'm gonna show you some of the analytics for that one next week.
Okay,
Fantastic, Lola.
Lala, you did it.
Yes. Fantastic, Lola. And I didn't hear the start because I fixed the audio troubles here. But yeah, great.
So Lala, I can explain to you quickly how you can import your own audio into InShot. What you need to do is download the file and then move it into your Files app on the phone. So you can, if you're on your Mac, you can use AirDrop and drop it to your phone and save it to your files. There's a folder called Files on your phone in iOS. And then when you are in InShot and you're editing the video, you'll see that little icon to add music. You'll see one that says there's a plus sign with a little music note, and it says saved music, I think, or something like that. And when you click on that, it'll ask you where you want to pull that music from. And one of the options, it's either, I think Dropbox is another one, or your files. And so you just have to put the file there, and then your phone will be able to access that file. And then once you bring it in, it will always be available. So for example, if it's background music that you like to use, or your opening stinger, or sound effects that you use often, that becomes part of the library. Now, fair warning, the music that is offered to you from InShot does not have copyright clearance on YouTube and other places. So I would definitely use the music that you have permission to use to avoid any kind of complications. You know how that goes. Or make your own music.
Thank you, Adam. That's why I didn't use any of the music from there. I knew I needed to use my Epidemic Sound music. That's why I had that extra step.
Yeah,
So
do it once
thank you
and
so
you'll
much.
know, you'll understand. Yeah.
So next time I'll probably have that music imported already. Thank you so much, Adam, for that advice that I can put it in the file. All right, thank you.
Great. And so when can we see it, did you say? Or
You go to my channel.
oh, it's already there.
Yes, it's set remind already.
Oh,
right?
set remind. Okay, great.
Yeah, so it's set. You can actually, it's a premiere. I didn't put it out immediately.
Okay.
I want to put it out as a premiere so I can have time to actually promote the video.
Okay.
All right, before it goes live. And so when it comes out as a premiere, I can be there in the chat as well.
Okay.
So it gets more engagement.
Okay, great. Fantastic. And so you will do the next one next week, or? Great.
Yes, definitely. I want once a week,
Fantastic.
at least.
At least, yeah, okay. That's very good. And then Anna replied and said, sadly, she needs to report. She hasn't done the recording yet. Okay, it's still time for that next time. But she has been going live. I should ask Andy. Andy, can you confirm that?
Not only do I confirm it, I enthusiastically endorse her ability on the streams to convey emotion, personality, verve. I'm not sure what verve is, but she's tenacious in what she does. She creates a wonderful, wonderful, warm atmosphere. Is that what you're looking for, Marcus?
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
She's there.
Yeah. And can't wait to hear probably next week from her back. And then we have Don in the chat, who is always joining us here in the chat. And I know he has a big win too, because he posted his big interview on YouTube after having that on the shelf for a little bit. Fantastic stuff done. I haven't had time to watch it, but I'm sure it's great. And another winner here is, of course, Adam, because he said he will go on the journey for the 100 videos. And how many did you already do? A few. I saw a few.
So yeah, I did all 100 actually at the same time.
Of course.
I set up 100 camera. No, I tried, but it failed. And failure was a big theme this week, and it was pretty fun and funny. But I posted 5 videos, and it was a lot of fun, and I'll be posting another one today. So I've actually hit every single day. I think on the weekends I have, my family and things to do and around the house. So I'm really aiming towards the week, and then maybe an extra video over the weekend. And I've also had to help me. I set up a content calendar. So each day has a theme. Monday is about mindset. Tuesday is about technology. And then I had mentioned 3 themes for the other days, but I've changed them. The Wednesday, Thursday, Friday theme mapped to my 3 pillars of podcasting, which are planning and production and promotion, right? So those are 3 things that are my content pillars, right? So when I talk about a topic, it's either the planning of a podcast, the production, which is also the technology, but more than that, or the promotion. How do you grow your audience? How do you get a bigger show or whatever you're doing? So those are the 3 things, and that will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then the weekend is wild. Yeah, that's
Wild.
whatever. That's just fun. Wild card. Weekend wild card. So,
good.
but by creating a content calendar or a structure, it makes it much easier for me to execute on all, such a big task of creating all this content. I know, and what I've also done is I've created a framework, like a spreadsheet. And when I come up with an idea, I just figure out, okay, which column does it go under? Is it about production? Is it about promotion? Is it about technology? Is it about mindset? And I've got like maybe 6 or 7 underneath each. I had already done this exercise with Lala, as in coming up with what I might talk about moving forward. So I already have the ideas, but now I've categorize them. So it's a little bit easier for me. I'm not like, oh, what should I talk about today? I already have like 30 or 40 ideas that I can kind of build off of. Then also there's stuff that happens in the real world every day, which is like this one. I did a whole video about this. We have to say goodbye to the iPod, right? And podcasting is built on the iPod. This is the very last one. I bought this the day they announced it. I went to try to buy another. They're sold out. So this is the very last iPod. And you gotta love this one. Look at that beautiful color. It's gorgeous pink.
Wow.
And I just the most gorgeous little thing. It's 4 inches. It's tiny. It was overpriced. It's underpowered, but I love it because this is part of the history. And I'm a podcast historian too. I was there since the very beginning of podcasting. So for me, this little device has a lot of meaning, and this will be going to my stepdaughter, and she'll be using it with great joy, and wonder. So that is it. Now, I talked about failure. I have to tell you, with each video that I produced, I ran into failure, and then I addressed the failure, then I ran into another failure. I have to tell you, one would be, I finally set up my Stream Deck. And then when I was doing the video, I learned that you don't press the big blue button that says go live. It turns to end call. I didn't realize that. And I thought it was a mute button. So after my intro, I hit that button and I just shut the stream.
Of course.
You're out. And I was like, oh my God. So I jumped back in. But each time I had some issues with my writing software, what I'm using here. I found a new application. One of the challenges with doing this is sometimes when you put your hand down, this stuff moves and shakes, because I'm a left-hander and I put my hand, I write like with a hook. So when I put my palm down, everything jumps. I might start wearing one of those gloves that people who use tablets use, that's non-capacitive. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But like each day there was something different, and I came up with another scene to do writing, which I think I can share with you if I do a little bit of clicking here. Yeah, is this, right? So I'm off to the side, right? And then I can bring in, I don't have the writing on right now, but you can see I came up with a few different scenes. I also came up with my opening scene, which this is my stand.
Yeah, and you're muted in that one. Okay.
Yeah, so it's been an adventure. Of the 5 videos, I feel like I put in like 5 months of growth. And each time I do one, it's something else. It's that 1% rule. Like what's the small thing you can do to help push it just a little bit further. And then what's going to break, or what are you going to run into that's going to go wrong? And that's so important because, that's where you learn. You shouldn't step back from your failure. You should lean into them and figure out, well, what went wrong and how can I leverage that lesson and to make it even better. So I've got 95 more mistakes to make.
Great, you're crushing it.
That's it.
And
Yeah,
so
so
Don says, Adam, be sure to take some time so you can recharge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm planning a trip to Los Cabos. So we're trying to plan a trip in June to go to Los Cabos. And I'm not sure if you've ever been there, but it's heaven on earth. So I do plan for 5 days in a resort. That should be fun. But I agree, right? To avoid burnout, you have to respect the break, right? You have to put space between the projects sometimes. But that is it. That was my week. So it was really good.
Yeah, a very, very impressive week. So
thank you.
Great. And do we have some more wins or yeah? And if we don't have the wins, then maybe we have new plans to take a look at. Everybody. Okay.
I'll talk.
Well, how about
Great. Oh yeah, exactly. Ali wanted to join us from the start, and this time it finally happened. So very good. Great to have you here.
Finally here. Yes. Yeah. And it's good to be here. So I have watched every single one of these.
Thank you. Great.
And tried to give some input. I just haven't been able to be live in them. So I'm Ellie, and I work with people to help them move better and to breathe better so that they can live their life with joy and without pain. And I initially I've been a massage therapist for, 12 years now, and a movement specialist and learning all the time. And I finally, when COVID hit, decided that I needed to do some online stuff because I couldn't be with people. And so, so I started looking into that, and I started doing some videos. I did in March, I did Move More Every Day in March. And actually they are on YouTube. But that was like those were my 31 days of mistakes, talking about mistakes, Adam. And and because I had no idea what I was doing, I was not connected to anyone that was doing this sort of thing. I was just flying by the seat of my pants. And so I did that. And then I learned about the live streaming pros and live every day in April. And I did that. So I've been slowly doing more and more online. I just in April, launched my first online course. So, and got some people in the course. Yeah, that was my big win after the sprint. So I'm really excited about that. The next step is to start a membership. And so different from, I haven't really been focusing on video and recording for a while because I'm trying to set up my site where people will come to take the classes and do all that kind of stuff. But I think I've been kind of ignoring the video part because I do need video. And so, and I have a Facebook page that I was doing live streams on once or twice a week, but I'm not consistent. So that, I think, is my goal, is to get on my Facebook page and be consistent. And I also need to, I need to start recording some pre-recorded video. I don't know if I'm going to get into the editing very much like you, Lala, but if I do, I'm going to be knocking on your door. You and Adam, help.
Okay, maybe start with, you said you want to be consistent on your Facebook page. What does that mean for you?
It means showing up. And and I find when I'm taking a course right now that's intensive, and then I've got another course that I'm taking, and these things are intensive, and I really enjoy doing that kind of thing and accumulating the information that I need. But then the output I lose, and I still need to stay connected to my audience that's in my Facebook page and my Facebook group. So consistency. I like going live, so maybe I'll just start with picking one day and going live one day a week, but making sure that I do some other post another time that week, whether it's just a post, a challenge, a question, some sort of way to engage with people, or just another live.
Okay. And that way you have 2 things you put out each week?
Yeah. And does it make sense? I mean, is that what people are looking for, the same time every week for that consistency?
I mean, with live, I guess, but I don't know. Any inputs from the group?
Yeah, I actually absolutely resonate with you, Ellie, about the difficulty of actually putting up edited videos. For some, it's really very easy. For me, it's easy to just go live.
Right.
Anytime. Before, it was also not easy, but now I can say it's anytime you say, okay, I can go live. But when you ask me to do edited video, it's something else. But I'm trying, as Ali also mentioned, just step at a time, a day, a week at a time. I think is a great step for both of us. So Ellie and I, high five with that plan. So I know you can do it, Ellie.
Okay, and Samantha in the chat is also saying consistently doing a live stream at the same time is best. So I would agree with that. Just with live stream, you try to reach a live audience maybe, and so that works best if people expect you at that date. But I think the most important part is to really keep doing it each week. So if it's too hard for you to do it at the same time.
Well, that's
Mhm.
not hard. I set my own schedule so
Okay.
I can just decide when I want to do that. But what's hard for me is, so I don't remember, but for a few weeks I was going live twice a week. I was going on Friday and on Monday. And I guess I have to admit I got discouraged because I wasn't getting an audience. So
Mhm.
maybe that means it's not the best time. Maybe I need to find out what, I think I was doing it at noon or 1.
Okay.
So I don't know how, I guess I could poll my audience and see if there's a time that works. If people are interested, maybe they're not interested.
Yeah,
there's a lot of-
that's maybe another thing. I come to you, Adam. It's maybe another thing. Does your audience want to watch live streams? Yeah, maybe a good thing to check that out. And Adam, I'm coming to you. Just a chat first. Victor says he posts recorded videos whenever he can, so mostly when he notices that the views start dropping in the last 48 hours. And then I press this button and Adam, go.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways you can look at this. One regarding how much you need to do. Really, it's up to you, right? It's up to you. What appetite do you have? What time do you have? And how long does it take to create your thing? I mean, I know creators who do one video a month, but when they release that video, it's incredible, right? And it takes a month for them to put it together, or even longer, right? And they do and same thing with podcasts, same thing. But when it comes down to doing the lives, sometimes doing more isn't always necessarily better. And, I've established that right in the beginning. What am I going to get out of doing 100 videos, as quickly as I can? Well, a lot of experience. And that's really what it's all about. And I am getting some audience, but I'm not really worrying about the growth of the audience or whether or not they're there at this point, because almost like, because I'm still stumbling a bit with some of the things that I don't even know I don't know. I would rather people show up en masse in group when I'm a lot better, a lot more, finessed. So when they show up, they're like, wow, it looks like you've been doing this for 100 years. Yeah, well, I have, but alone. And then the quality of the first engagement with you is just so much better, right? So that's partially part of it. And then secondarily, if you want to find out what your audience wants, you have to ask them, or you have to go find them. And the way I personally find audience these days is by being helpful. Serve first, give first, show up, be part of groups, give people love and attention, and then they'll get back to you, rather than saying, oh, I'm so wonderful that of course you want to watch me. That never works. It never works. I know when I go to look at content, I'm looking for something that's going to serve me. So generally I look to people who I trust, and the way you build that kind of trust, so people know, like, and trust you, is by showing up for them and being a helper, right? And you're very helpful. You've always been helpful. So just, you have to almost put an equal investment into showing up in all the groups that you belong to, and leading in. Learning to stay to the end. So people know, oh yeah, that person's always around. So then when you ask, hey, could you come and check my thing out? They'll be like, of course I want to see what you're doing. I love you, and that's the kind of thing. That's how you build real friendship, real relationships. And it's probably more important that you have a smaller audience that really gets you, you only need 1,000 true fans, right? That's the saying. If you can get 1,000 people to pay you $100 over the year of all the great stuff you do with courses, books, and that's like $100, man. I spend more than that a week on coffee sometimes, right? So if you can get 1,000 fans, while it seems high, you know, it's not impossible. So if you get 1,000 true fans, it'll pay you $100. You know where I'm going. It's $100,000 a year, right? And up, and it goes up from there. So like that's, but the true fan part is the thing. True fans, and that's not just having somebody who's kind of interested in you and wants to check you out. No, that's someone who's in love with you, who's just like, oh my God, this person is the best. I will be there. You say you're online, I'm there. That's what you're looking for. And to do that, it's just like making a real relationship happen. It takes a lot of investment. It's a two-way arrow, and you got to give sometimes even more than you take. But that's my position. What does Tony think? Andy, what do you guys think? You know, what do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you.
Every time you open your mouth, Adam, I get more in love with you, to use your phrase. And I hope that doesn't sound facetious or flip, but the fact that you talk about being helpful, being of service to other people, is it gravitates us to you, and therefore gives your words more energy. And I concur, Ellie, with Adam 100% that it's getting good. So getting really, really good at what you do. And I'm not despairing what you do now, but it's that trial and error that when you get that 1,000 people, I'm just reiterating what Adam said, but I concur. And Lord knows I'm not there, but we'll get there.
Well, Adam, I'm watching your shows. I got to catch up on them because I have so many other things that I'm doing. I'm giving you a minus rating on the board for signing stuff. I think it's great, but you get tired after a while of it. And then when you cover your face and other things and you scribble even smaller and you got to move around, that's just me. I'm only uno person. That's one for those Spanish speaking people. And I just think that I'm waiting to hear all your things about, you said 20 years of podcasting. I want to fall through and see what I get at the end of your program. So I got to catch the other few days up. You are exciting. So you are pleasurable to watch. That's number one. You know, you've already won your audience in that sense. Now, how you present yourself, we all make mistakes. And the more we produce our own mistakes, shows, the better we get. And I can speak from experience on my Coffee with Andy and Tony. And we've had some big mistakes in our shows, but we've gone almost 2 years. And we do our 15 minutes of fame every Friday morning. Now, in your case of 7 days, that's a big undertaking. And so I wish you the best on that. I think maybe try another color sometimes with the handwriting. You might spruce it up, but outside of that, you're doing good. I don't know if you're looking at your analytics and everything, but I think you kept me going and watching, and it was just long enough. You know, that was the only thing I worry about when I see other people. It's like, what? So I looked at their other show, 3.5 hours. No. You get 3.5 minutes with me. But you've been short. Yeah. And I like that. Now, some people, they like to go things. And I can tell you, we're in conference every week. And, because 2 crazy Danes here, one in Denmark and one in California. But it's see a lot of different things. And I don't know who's right and who's wrong. You just have to go with what you feel like. Right, Allie? You have to go with what you feel like. And Lala's doing it. She's shining. Everyone's out there. Marcus put the program together, and Einer's been doing things where he's at, and I'm building things where I'm at. And that's why all the networks have all those pilots, and they see what works and what doesn't work. So we're the same way. We're live streamers. If it don't work, You can try for a while, but don't come back after 1 year and said, you know what, it didn't work well. And I'll tell you, one of my antics that I had in our show, we built it up from like 0 viewers to a couple hundred every week, and that's mostly on the replays. But I did an episode on Danish pancake balls called æbleskivers, and I got over 16,000 views. So that's like ka-ching. You should maybe start talking more about that. Well, I put it off to the side because I'm in the process of building a studio here where I'm at. I have 700 square feet and built one set. I'm building a cooking set, and I'm going to be doing some Danish stuff. But everything's like once a week, so I can program it all and get it all done around the same time, do the same filming. So one day is shooting live shows and then editing, and then we're done, but building it all up. But that's, I've talked to other people who do it daily. It's a grind. And what is it? Matt Haas, he does it. I mean, he has so many different things. The guy drives me crazy, but I love to watch his shows from time to time. And you're the same way, Adam, for me. So, but I love to watch. And I have to start seeing Lala's more. I just can't get into, I feel bad about when I see things that are 1 to 3 or 4 hours, because I go back to the days when, I don't know if anybody knows the name Blab. It was a video conferencing, and the company got like $600 million to play. And we start off where you could have 1 screen to up to 4 screens. And then you have all the people, chiming in, and then you would, you'd have different topics and things like that. And it was pretty neat. We ended up starting to use like OBS and XSplit and stuff like that to create our thirds and go like crazy with everything. But that's where it started, when it was small and not very good graphically. And then now years later, this has got to be 7 years later, look at what we're doing with Zoom and with anything else. So I think for you and for everyone here, just do what feels good for you. Because everyone told me I was doing wrong in some other groups, that no, 15 minutes, you can't do that. But we went after a group of people, and they weren't the millennials or the X or the Zs. They were called seniors. And every time we take our phone out where I live, and my wife or I show somebody who doesn't have the computer, they laugh for 15 minutes. So they love our shows and our bantering back and forth and things like that. And unfortunately, sometimes we're just coming off the fly. But we started with our first episode like, okay, we're on. What are we going to talk about for 14 more minutes? And then we just got through that. And then now we have more and more, and we're looking at going to a half an hour and bringing guests in. So we've made the change slow, but we've learned from watching other people and what we can and can't do for ourselves. And you're going to hear this in some cases, you can't tech your own show. If you're a one-man band, like a podcast, things like that, you can. But you want to bring in guests and other people and do all sorts of stuff, you spend all your time engineering it and less time being the host. So that's one of the things that I've tried to work out the best way to do it. Because my wife, she knows how to hook up and tear down the equipment. But at that point, that's it. I can't get her to work the machine, to turn it off. She just turned off the computer one day. That's how she stopped Facebook when we were going live.
It works.
Yeah. So Andy, just keep up the good work. Disregard what I said. No, just take it with a grain of salt. I love your programming, and I
Great
will
wisdom.
give myself
Thank
and
you.
shut
No, I
myself up.
super appreciate it. Yeah. And how's your co-host doing? I watched your show, and she sees you were solo.
Oh, thank
How's
you.
she feeling?
Yeah, she got better. The vertigo went right up to that day, and she couldn't do anything. Then Saturday it started getting better, and Sunday we went to church. But you just never know what things going on with us. And we're both COVID survivors before it was even popular. We sat at least 4 months at home in bed, barely making it. So we got over the brunt of it.
Yeah, that's tough.
But we got some things that she produces the show every now and then with this studio. We do some things with some antics, and we want to get more, but I need a third hand to help so we can get a lot of things done. So keep up the good work and just hang in there.
Thank you.
That was great. A great input, Tony.
Can I run it? I want to respond to Adam's feedback or information to me. I get it. I appreciate your all that you said. And that is just, give love, give to your audience, talk to your people, serve them. And so I appreciate your words. Thank you.
Great. And do you have clarity?
One closing thing for Adam. Because you're doing that stuff, Zoom has whiteboard. And guess what I did? I started playing with that because of you.
Awesome. That's great.
So
I
yeah,
love
with Einar,
notes.
we were testing it back and forth.
I do, all day I'm writing. I write in paper notes too. I love these little field notes, and all day it's hard to see, but I'm writing notes, even, to get people's attention. It works so well. Like this works so much better than an emoji like, hey, or another one that I have too. And I recommend you all do these. I got a box of these little, like business cards, these little cards, but they're blanks, right? They're blanks. And so what I do is I've got magic markers, and you can do things like, oh yeah, or fire, or like, and I just draw these out, and these are so much more endearing, and pattern interrupts. When you pull out a card and you throw it in the camera, people like, it's so much nicer than just a little graphic on the screen. So I'd really like to have a blackboard back here and just, and because I like there you go. Yeah, there it is. There right. So that's, I like the old, especially because, right. I'm the last of the boomers. I'm aiming at the boomer audience. I love them. I am one. And so having the analog wrapped in digital, or digital wrapped with analog, I don't know how you would put it, it brings it back. And when things are just too much, just sizzling on the screen and planes, I like that stuff, but it's just not who I am. I'm also, I used to make tie-dye t-shirts and sell them for the Grateful Dead, like I'm still that guy too, where it's about, paint and clay and wood and real stuff. And I get sad when I hear about a world that's completely digital, because it's you and me between a sheet of glasses. That's not a world I want to be in. Anyway.
Bummer, I'm digital.
I'm all things. Omnipresent.
So, Einar, do you have some goals to share?
A lot of goals.
Yeah. Some you like to share, or
sometimes it is a little difficult to reach them, but I do what I can with Tony. Tony is a very good friend and partner in doing all this. We are having many funny meetings sometimes.
Okay.
But I think it is great to have somebody to talk to about all these things. And
absolutely.
I'm still planning, and I am going live sometimes with live streams about tech for people who are more than 50 years old. And I tried to start it out 14 days ago with a stream where I go back in time and tell what I have been experienced from the ZX81 and until now. Okay. And the next stream I'm working on is about the software we have been using since I met the computer for the first time. So slowly closing up and see what happens.
Cool.
But great. I'm using Ecamm and Mac. All this is Mac, and Tony's using Windows, so it's funny.
Okay.
So many things happens and many goals, but if we reach them, I don't know. Time will show.
Okay.
But here also here I have I'm in a group here in a network in Denmark where we try to make a digital network. It is the meaning of this network to cooperate with the physical networks and see if this is possible to do using Zoom, for example. So many things is going on here.
Great. Yeah, anybody else with some goals to share?
I had some feedback for Einar. I watched some of your videos. I really love the video where you were going through the history of the computer, of your old computers, and with the slideshow. It was very charming and touching because, I went through that too. So I would love to see more stuff like that. And also, Denmark, for most people who live in my state, is like very exotic. I know you might make you laugh,
It's
right?
exotic,
Yeah,
it's
the
more-
idea of Danish pancakes. Oh man, I totally want one, right? I totally want one, right? Just because it's so bizarre, right?
Yeah.
So like even your mundane, while it might not be interesting to you, it's fascinating for me, and I'd love to see more of that. Like even the phone video, like you were out behind your house, or maybe it was your house. I don't know. You were on a terrace.
It is our house, yes.
Yeah, it was nice. Like that was like gave me a window into part of the world that I'm not familiar with, and I felt a little closer to Denmark and to you. And like while you might not think it's that fascinating, I think it's super cool and interesting. I think you are very interesting, as Tony is, right? Like the whole Danish culture. I mean, all I know, I'm a Jewish kid from Long Island. Danish either came in cheese or apricot, or it's part of a joke, like so Danish is like, and so there's far, it's a beautiful history and culture and Mark, give us
Yes,
more.
it's nice to be here, but the weather is not so good. Only in 3 months in the summer.
It's okay.
Marcus can tell you about this also.
Yeah,
you
but
still have good
today it was
jokes.
very beautiful. So
Good beer, you have good stories, right? It's like
Yes.
there's beauty everywhere,
Yeah.
and I just can't wait to see more of it from
And so
your
sometimes
corner of
when
the
we are making something like this in Denmark, we say you don't have to be crazy to be here, but it will help you a lot.
yeah.
So yes, that's
We
fine.
used to say I lived in Vermont for a couple of years, and I was, from Long Island, and it was like one of the slowest places. But one of the things I realized in Vermont that people are really good at their hobbies. Like I met some guys who like to wrestle, right? And they were some of the best wrestlers that I've ever worked out with. Why were they so good at wrestling? It was because there was nothing else to do up there, right? Because it was so slow. And you'd be surprised, some of the finest of everything is available where there's nothing, because you can focus so deeply on that passion. Music, food, storytelling, jokes, laughter, dancing, you name it, sewing, knitting, all of creative, right? It's not as obvious, but I can't wait to see that from you, because man, you have a wonderful place that you live.
yes, it is nice to be here, but sometimes it is a little expensive, and I want to enjoy life. That is not so easy at the same time.
I live in
But it
I live
is
in
fine.
San Diego, so I get it.
Yes.
Yeah, like life is expensive here too. I hear you.
Okay.
100%.
So maybe we can switch for a bit to the meta. How do we go forward from here the following weeks? Do you think we should just do the same as we're doing now and last week, or should we discuss some topics, or what are your ideas?
It's a good question. I mean, this is a very good format. I'd like to hear about you, Marcus.
Oh,
what
yeah.
are you up to? Yeah, how about you?
It was
You're a
bound
good
to happen. Yeah.
facilitator, but
It
what
was
about
bound to happen.
obviously,
I
this
got
is a
called out for
project,
not
right? Yeah.
setting on
I saw you
goals,
did
yeah.
a live today from a beautiful park,
Yeah.
I guess near
Walk
where you
and talk.
work.
Very
Yeah, the
good.
walk and talk was really nice. I
And
really
he was
enjoyed that.
walking in his sleep, and I'm
Yeah, of course. I should put out some goals too. So I thought about for starting a small one, but maybe pretty important. So I am really bad with answering comments on my videos, and I think it is really important, especially as a small creator. If someone takes the time to go and comment on your video, then you really should respond. And I was really not good with that. And so my my little goal for starting is to really go in there and answer every comment. Yeah.
That's a big goal. I'm sure you get lots and lots of people responding to you.
Sometimes, yeah, but yeah, that's another thing. If you don't write back, then you get less comments, of course. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I like the idea of establishing a few themes or ideas and maybe thinking about them and then coming back the next week and to talk about what we thought about for the week.
Okay.
You know, like one concept. I'm not sure what it can be, but it's just, it'd be kind of nice to kind of like have everybody have almost homework, but more like just think about this idea. It's more like thought homework. Like, okay, let's think of the idea of X. And then next week, we'll take a little bit of time to discuss how that showed up for you in the week. Like something like, I don't know, persistence, like how to keep going, you know, and then like, let's just put some awareness on when you felt like you didn't want to do something, but you did it anyway, or you decided not to do it. And we talk about, and like do just for the week, and the next week we can talk about, well, did anybody run into that situation where, you know, either they were gave it up or they followed through, and what happened on the other side. Like something like that would be nice to see how we all respond to a thematic idea. You know, not just our own projects, but but
we could brainstorm a list of ideas like that. And then also, I had another thought. Now I forgot it.
It is gone. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that.
Forgetting, there's another one. Like when we forget and then we remember. That's an awesome one.
But I was listening to something the other day. I don't remember where it was, but this being consistent and what time you need to do it. And he thinks you need to do it when you have the time and not when all the other places in the world have the time for it, because you have to make it work in your every day in your life. And other people must view it when it is here. I don't know if Lala knows something about this in the middle of the night. She is here when it is going on, and Marcus is choosing a time where he has got the time here. But I think that is a good idea, maybe making it in that way.
Okay, yeah. So brainstorming about topics, do you want to do that now or write something in the Discord or?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we move it to the Discord and we can capture some of the topics we discussed today. And then maybe in the Discord, we can pick one of the topics to lean into for next week and then kind of bring that to
if anyone's watching this, if they put it in the comments, Marcus is going to respond to you.
You're a genius, Ellie. You're a genius.
We'll get that added to our list.
An easy promotion. That's right. Visit my show.
You'll guarantee it from now on.
Yeah. That's right. That's very good. Holding me accountable. Exactly.
You'll get 7 views, whatever you put in.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I will set up a channel where we can put that in. Yeah, exactly.
You know, I have a little question for Ellie. Can I take just a brief moment? A while ago, you were saying that you were somewhat dismayed or daunted or disappointed that you weren't getting the views that you wanted to, the numbers. Did I hear you accurately?
No, I get, so it's more, I don't really care about the numbers, but it's that engagement. When you know there's somebody on the other side watching you, you, at least for me, I talk in a different way. I feel like I'm talking to somebody. But if there's zero, there's nobody there, I feel like I'm like so I get distracted actually if I feel like if there's nobody actually watching. And maybe that's partly my inexperience, because if I were doing a pre-recorded video, obviously nobody's watching while I'm doing it. So there's something about that, the fact that it's alive, and my brain feels like there should be somebody there for me to be talking to and engaging with. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. Good clarification. Good clarification.
Yeah, and I absolutely see that it gives so much energy back if you are streaming alone, and the chat gives so much energy back.
Well, it's
Absolutely.
actually in the beginning, it was actually a two-sided coin, because I was also afraid if anybody was watching.
Yeah,
So I was
of
like,
course.
no, don't watch me, but do watch me, but don't watch me.
Yeah.
So, but now that I don't have that nervousness about having people watch me, and actually that's something else, is that because of that fear of having people watch me, I wasn't necessarily announcing that I was going to go live. So that's actually a sort of a
Yeah,
piece that I
that's an
should
important thing.
remember.
And Victor is saying even when he's live, he is lucky to have anyone watching. And of course, that's always can be difficult, especially if you're starting or not yet have built up the audience. So yeah.
Well, one of the things a lot of people do, they'll just turn on the camera and start broadcasting. And it's almost like, remember when we had Twitter had Periscope, you just get on, you went live. If you don't have a following, they don't know. Now, if you had a group load of people and you can send out an email beforehand that you're going to go live at 2 o'clock today, and then tomorrow you're going to go live at 6 p.m. I mean, you'll get a small following. But if you just turn it on and start recording and thinking, well, okay, there's 7 billion people on this earth and there's 3 billion people on Facebook, I got to get at least 3, it may or may not work that way.
Yeah.
Because if they don't know you or whatever, and then are you getting on live on YouTube, or are you getting on live on Facebook? So,
well, the other thing around that is that it depending on who your audience is. So if your audience is already people who go live or people who do YouTube, they know that part of that, their job as an audience, is to interact and to comment and to say, hi, I'm here. I'll see people come on that because my audience are not people who are comfortable being on camera or anything like that themselves. And I'll see people pop in that little eyeball that says somebody's watching, but then they go away. And I think I remember for me in the beginning, when I would see somebody go live and I'd click it, I would be like, oh, no, I don't want to watch that right now. And I'd click right off again. And I think it's that sort of thing of like, oops, that was a mistake. Or I don't really want to watch right now because that's too much of an obligation to be committed to seeing somebody do something on their time and not my time or whatever. I don't know. I'm starting to ramble, but.
This one guy that I saw on Snapchat, which they now renamed themselves to Snap, which I haven't been on in years, but this guy named Chocolate Johnny from Australia had a chocolate store and everything. He said, because this is what a lot of people do, they'll go on live and they'll announce it, whatever, and we're going to talk about the new way to do live streaming. What happens is they get on live and they see 3 or 4 people and they go, well, we'll wait another 10, 15 minutes to see how many more people come in before we start talking about our new venture here. And that right there, you killed the whole thing, because people want to know within a few seconds whether you're going or not. So what he did is he covered on his phone, because he didn't have his phone, the body count, I call it, the numbers of who's watching you. Because he said the first day he had 0, and he kind of like freaked out about it. So he said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. So he covered that, and he just ran his show as if he goes, I'm doing it as if 1 million people are watching or nobody's watching. It's the same show.
Mhm, mhm.
So, and he built it up, and I mean what do they call it? The Prime Minister of Australia was watching him and would come into a store from time to time. So he built it into a big market, and it took about a year and a half for him, and that was fast for a lot of people. But the key was it wasn't youngsters and doing things. He wasn't, in his 40s or 50s, and there's a lot of market out there. So don't worry about the numbers, Allie. Don't
No,
even,
yeah, no, I don't. I don't really worry about the numbers again.
start your program, and if you got 15 minutes, I just
It's that
started using a
interaction.
countdown. Yeah, I just started a countdown so we can stay on track of getting done with the show. So
Okay.
just let you know with that helps a lot, because I was always looking at my Fitbit for time, and my wife was looking at it, and we look kind of funny on there doing things, but we're trying to be conscious of it, because we said it's our 15 minutes of fame. Everything after that, we're in trouble.
Yeah, and with you saying that, we're at the top of the hour.
Uh-oh, Marcus, you're in trouble.
That's my no, that's my 15. Your 15 minutes is my hour. So yeah, but I think we had some fantastic inputs today. Thank you all so very much. And at the end, we have John coming in and Paul from Love Audio Production. So
Hello to Paul Weber.
And
yeah.
I'm going to leave you guys with some Danish open-faced sandwiches that I make.
Oh, great. So how can we get them?
Well,
You said so now, so
I'll make them and eat them and tell you all about them.
Okay, sounds good.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
yeah, that's it for today. I will put a new channel in Discord where you can put your topic ideas in, and then we will see you next week.
hasta luego.
Thank you very much.
Adam, no.
Thank you.
And where does it end? Okay, we click here.
Thanks, Marcus.